You think you know betrayal? You think you've seen it all in WWE? Think again. What just went down at main event wasn't just a betrayal, it was the destruction of everything the bloodline stood for, everything Jey Uso sacrificed, and everything we believed about family in professional wrestling. Jimmy Uso, the same Jimmy Uso who stood side by side with his twin brother through years of battles, just stabbed Jey in the back in the most disgusting, cowardly way imaginable. And he did it during Centimeter Punk's World Heavyweight Championship victory. This isn't just shocking, this is unforgivable. But here's what's got me absolutely furious, and what should have every wrestling fan losing their minds right now. Jimmy didn't just cost Jey a match. He didn't just walk away. He looked his brother dead in the eyes and destroyed him when Jey needed him most. After everything they've been through, after all those speeches about family, after Jey finally broke free from Roman's manipulation and found himself again. Let me take you through exactly what happened tonight, because this moment is going to change everything in WWE moving forward. The atmosphere at main event was absolutely electric. Centimeter Punk versus the World Heavyweight Champion in what everyone expected to be an instant classic. The crowd was deafening, chanting Centimeter Punk, Centimeter Punk. But here's what nobody saw coming. Jey Uso was scheduled to be the special guest enforcer for this match. Why? Because WWE management wanted to ensure no outside interference would ruin what could be the match of the year. Jey came out to thunderous applause. The crowd loves this man. After breaking free from Roman Reigns' tyrannical control, after standing up for himself, after finally becoming his own person, Jey Uso has become one of the most beloved superstars on the entire roster. The Ute chants were echoing throughout the arena, and you could see the pride in Jey's eyes as he stood at ringside, ready to call this match right down the middle. Quick question for you guys, do you think WWE Creative knew this betrayal was coming, or was this a last-minute decision? Drop your theories in the comments. The match itself was phenomenal. Centimeter Punk and the champion were putting on an absolute clinic. Near falls, submission attempts, high-impact moves, everything you could want in a main event title match. Punk hit the GTS, kicked out. The champion hit his finishing move, Punk kicked out. The crowd was on their feet, and Jey Uso was doing his job perfectly, staying neutral, staying professional. But then everything changed. Around the 15-minute mark, the champion rolled out of the ring, clearly exhausted. Centimeter Punk was setting up for a suicide dive. You know Punk, always willing to put his body on the line, when out of nowhere, Jimmy Uso's music hit. The confused look on Jey's face said everything. His own twin brother, someone he hadn't aligned with in recent weeks due to their complicated history with Roman, was walking down that ramp with purpose. Jimmy had this look, this cold, calculated look that we've never seen from him before. This wasn't the charismatic, fun-loving Jimmy we've known for years. This was something darker. Jey immediately approached his brother, arms out, trying to understand what was happening. You could read his lips. What are you doing here? The brothers met at ringside, and for a moment, just a brief moment, it looked like maybe, just maybe, Jimmy was there to support his brother, to show unity, to prove that blood is thicker than all the bloodline politics. The champion and Centimeter Punk were both down in the ring, recovering, as the referee's attention turned to the Uso twins. This is where everything went horribly wrong. Jimmy grabbed Jey by the shoulders, pulled him close like he was going to whisper something brotherly, something meaningful, and then superkicked him directly in the jaw. The sound echoed through the arena. Jey dropped like he'd been shot. The gasp from the crowd was deafening. People couldn't believe what they just witnessed. But Jimmy wasn't done. Oh no, he wasn't nearly done. Jimmy rolled into the ring, and here's where it gets even more infuriating. He didn't attack the champion. He didn't attack Centimeter Punk initially. He went back outside, dragged his unconscious brother toward the steel steps, and slammed Jey's head into them 3 times. The sickening sound of skull meeting steel made everyone in attendance wince. Here's a question for the real wrestling fans. Was this the most shocking betrayal since Seth Rollins turned on the Shield? Let me know below. Centimeter Punk's controversial victory with Jey completely out of commission, security trying to remove Jimmy from ringside, and absolute chaos erupting everywhere. Centimeter Punk saw his opportunity. The champion was distracted, arguing with the referee about the interference, trying to get the match restarted properly. Punk, ever the opportunist, rolled up the champion from behind, and with a handful of tights, got the 3 count. But here's what's got the entire WWE universe divided. Did Centimeter Punk know this was going to happen? Was there some secret alliance between Punk and Jimmy Uso that we didn't know about? Because the timing was just too perfect. The way Punk capitalized immediately after Jimmy's attack, the way he showed no remorse, no hesitation, it all seems extremely suspicious. Punk celebrated with the World Heavyweight Championship like nothing evil had just transpired. He held that title high, his music blaring, while Jey Uso was being attended to by medical personnel on the outside. The crowd was torn, half celebrating Punk's victory, half absolutely disgusted by what led to it. But the most haunting image of the night, Jey Uso standing at the top of the ramp, staring down at his brother's broken body with zero emotion on his face. No remorse, no regret, just cold, calculated satisfaction. Let's break down why this betrayal is different from anything we've seen before, and why it's going to have massive repercussions. First, the bloodline has been the dominant storyline in WWE for nearly 3 years. We've seen betrayals within the family before, Sami Zayn, Jey turning on Roman, but a twin betraying his twin. That hits different. That's genetic betrayal. That's the person who shared a womb with you, who's been by your side since birth, choosing to destroy you. Second, Jey's character development has been one of the most compelling stories in recent WWE history. Watching him evolve from Roman's beaten-down enforcer to a confident, independent superstar who found his voice and his identity, that journey resonated with millions of fans. Jimmy just took a sledgehammer to all of that progress. He didn't just attack Jey physically, he attacked everything Jey has become. Third, NJPW Punk's championship reign now begins under this massive cloud of controversy. Whether he was involved in Jimmy's plan or not, he benefited from it. That title victory will always have an asterisk next to it. And knowing NJPW Punk's character, both in storyline and real life, is going to embrace that controversy and run with it. Drop a comment. Do you think NJPW Punk and Jey Uso are working together, or was Punk just in the right place at the right time? The questions are endless, and that's what makes this so compelling. Is Roman Reigns behind this? Did the tribal chief orchestrate this entire betrayal to punish Jey for leaving the bloodline? Or is this Jimmy acting independently, finally stepping out of everyone's shadow, including his brothers? Will Jey demand a match against Jimmy? Will we get the ultimate twin versus twin match that fans have been theorizing about for years? Because after what happened tonight, there's no way these brothers can coexist peacefully. This is personal now. This is blood. What about Solo Psycho? Where does he stand in all of this? The Bloodline's enforcer has been relatively quiet lately, but this betrayal could bring him back into the spotlight. Does he side with Jimmy? Does he stay loyal to Roman? Or does he shock everyone and stand with Jey? And most importantly, what about NJPW Punk's championship reign? Jey Uso has every right to claim that he was screwed out of properly enforcing that match. He could demand a rematch be ordered, could insert himself into the title picture, could make Punk's life absolutely miserable moving forward. And honestly, after what happened tonight, Jey would be justified in burning down everything in his path to get justice. This betrayal represents something deeper than just storyline drama. It's about trust, loyalty, and the price of ambition. Jey Uso clearly made a choice tonight, a choice that power, relevance, or whatever promise he received was more important than his bond with Jey. That's a powerful story that transcends wrestling. For years, the Usos have been called the greatest tag team of this generation. They've held championship gold multiple times. They've main event premium live events. They've been the backbone of the Bloodline's dominance. All of that history, all of those memories, shattered in one brutal superkick. The emotional weight of this storyline is going to carry WWE programming for months. The eventual confrontation between these brothers won't just be a match, it'll be a bloodbath. It'll be personal in ways that most feuds can never achieve because these are real brothers with real history. Final question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how shocking was this betrayal, and where does it rank in WWE betrayal history? Sound off below. Tonight at Main Event, we didn't just witness a title change and a betrayal. We witnessed the destruction of brotherhood, the birth of a controversial championship reign, and the beginning of what could be the most personal feud in WWE history. Jey Uso made his choice. NJPW Punk has his championship, and Jey Uso? Jey has nothing but pain, betrayal, and a burning desire for revenge. This story is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning, and if tonight was any indication of what's coming, we're in for one hell of a ride. Make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications because Wrestling Zone 1 is going to be covering every single development in this story as it unfolds. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know because everyone needs to see what went down tonight. The wrestling world will never be the same after tonight. The bloodline is broken. NJPW Punk is champion, and Jey Uso's heart? Shattered into a million pieces by the one person who should have never betrayed him. This is Wrestling Zone 1, and we'll see you in